for joining us for a very special read-through of the adapted play script for Conversations.
We are lucky enough to be joined by the majority of the original cast of the audio drama. This includes Alix Perry, James Boyd, Juno, Kyle Jensen, Elizabeth Grace, Oliver Thomas-Wright and Gail Taplin. We are sadly missing Daniel Warren, but taking his place will be Michael Smith.
We've decided to do this because the current situation is a difficult one for so many people, and we thought by coming together and expressing the messages that are throughout Conversations, we may reach out to someone.
This performance is in aid of the Theatres Trust, and they are an important charity because theatres are one of the few buildings left in communities where people can come together, whatever their age, ethnicity or class. It's a place where relationships are built, where people can connect and understand what it means to be human, improving society for everyone. By donating to the Theatres Trust, it means that you are helping to make sure the theatres remain in our society. So to make a donation, please follow the link provided in the show notes.
But for now, sit back and let the cast transport you to Mazines, the most virtually accessible Moroccan restaurant on the internet.
Hello, are you ready to order?
Can we get 5 more minutes, please?
What are you thinking of having?
I'm not sure. Maybe the chicken pastilla? What about you?
No idea. I've never had Moroccan food before, but I think I'll try the vegetable tagine.
We could have gone somewhere else.
No. It's nice to be somewhere different. I'm not normally the most adventurous, and it can be hard when you're a vegetarian.
How long have you been vegetarian?
I can't really remember. A few years. People eat meat and they think they'll become as strong as an ox, forgetting that an ox eats grass. I meant nothing personal by that comment. Everyone has their own opinion.
For a second, I thought you were one of those sociopathic protesters. I don't eat pork because of my upbringing. I'm not religious, but my family still are.
Sorry, I hope I don't sound rude by asking, but why don't Muslims eat pork?
Well, but it's short, pigs are deemed as scavengers and therefore unclean. So it's thought that pigs are unhealthy to consume, basically.
I learned long ago never to wrestle with a pig. You get dirty, and besides, the pig likes it.
George Bernard Shaw, right? I like it. How do you know of his work?
Well, although I work in a bookshop, I'm an aspiring playwright. And when the shop's quiet, I read through the old plays. Most recently, the work of Bernard Shaw.
Can we just pick somewhere already?
No, we don't go out often and have much money, so we must pick the right place, preferably with halloumi.
Right, we're going in here, with or without halloumi. I'm starving.
Okay, on your head a bit.
Can I have a mug of tea, please, dear?
Of course, young lady. Welcome to Mazines. Table for two?
Do you serve halloumi?
Ignore him, he's on day release. Just the two of us.
Right this way. I've got a nice table down the side.
Thank you.
Thanks. Oh
no halloumi. I'm sure you'll survive.
Here you go, madam. Is there anything else I can get for you?
You have the copy of today's paper?
Oh, we certainly do. I will fetch it for you right away.
You're ever so kind.
There we are.
Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Are you ready to order now?
Yeah, thanks. Please could I have the chicken pastilla with a side of vegetable couscous?
And please can I have the vegetable tagine with a bottle of your best Moroccan white wine?
Of course. I'll bring your wine over right away.
I didn't see much of that. How was yours?
It's a salad. Can't complain when there's nothing to gain. Is it just me, or has Millie seemed unhappy since we arrived?
Well, you did take a tablet away the second we sat down.
Yes, because she doesn't need a tablet at the table.
It's not exactly our choice, though, is it?
I know, but while she's with us, there's a break from screen time.
Agreed. What does she need one for, anyway? Are you still hungry? Do you want to get dessert?
No, I better not.
We could always share. That way, you don't need to feel guilty for having one to yourself.
But it's not that I feel guilty. I'm on a diet, Alix.
You sure act like you're guilty.
I don't mean to, but the more you mention it, the closer I get for falling for temptation.
Sorry, but I don't see why I should have to be on a diet too when, we're out for dinner.
I never said you couldn't have a dessert.
Okay, do you mind if I have one?
Do what you want. You will anyway.
So, is anything tickling your fancy? I would say I'm struggling, but I already downloaded the menu last night on my phone.
So you led me here all along?
I wouldn't go that far. I just influenced the decision.
Sounds like daylight robbery to me. I'm a fussy eater.
Yento, look at the sides menu.
No way! Halloumi fries. That's me sorted.
Yento, we can't come to a Moroccan restaurant and just have halloumi fries.
Good luck trying to stop me.
Ready to order, chaps?
I'll have the halloumi fries, please.
Good choice. Brand new to the menu this week. Let me know what they're like.
Don't worry, he will. You'll get 4-page review.
What can I get for you, sir?
I'll have the vegetable tagine, please.
Certainly. We have sold a few of these this evening. Any drinks?
A jug of tap water for the table, please.
Such a cheap date.
Very cheap indeed.
Oh, wasn't he lovely?
You sure thought so.
What do you mean?
Oh, nothing. Forget it.
So, have any of your plays ever been performed?
Yeah, no, but I'm in the middle of writing one that I'd love to take to Fringe Festival. We'll see,
That's a good idea. Have you ever been?
A few times, yeah. It always makes me more nervous to lay my words out upon the stage.
Well, you'll never know if you don't try. Progress is impossible without change.
And those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. Look, I know. Anyway, how do you know so much about Bernard Shaw?
I'm a teacher. It's not very exciting, I know, but I'm teaching students about his work. I've actually gotten rather into it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
No problem. Enjoy.
I've never understood why wine glasses are only ever filled halfway.
Well, other than being a playwright, I have a large collection of pointless facts, and for whatever reason, I actually do know the answer to this one.
Okay then, please enlighten me.
Well, it's because the wine glasses are designed to elevate the flavours and aromas of a wine by exposing it to the right amount of air.
Ah, I see. I don't know why. People always told me it was so we drank more and then bought more.
Well, yeah, maybe that's the real reason. So then, Zara, a teacher, what age do you teach?
Secondary.
Oh, blimey. What's that like?
Well, they're monsters, but at least they pay my bills.
That's one way to look at it.
All jokes aside, I do love my job, but it can be hard sometimes.
Yeah, I can imagine. I remember what it was like at school. It was an absolute nightmare.
Nothing can be worse than kids that dab whilst they sneeze. Ugh.
What on earth is a dab?
I'll show you.
Oh, okay, like this.
No. You need to drop your head into the bent crook of a slanted, upwardly angled arm whilst raising the opposite arm out in a straight, parallel direction.
Well, that's very confusing, but I'll try again, okay? Ready?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, looks like we've gathered an audience. Okay. What other things annoy you?
Well, for one, I am practically Snapchat famous.
Snapchat famous?
Oh, come on. Please tell me you've heard of Snapchat. If not, you must literally be an alien from outer space.
No, I'm kidding. Of course I know what Snapchat is. But how come you've become Snapchat famous?
The students like to take bad angled photos of me as I teach, which I've become the face of the company.
That's not a bad title, I suppose. Could be worse. Could be worse. They could be taking photos of you picking your nose.
Oh dear, yeah, that'll be the day.
So is there anything else that they do that's annoying?
Well, when I ask a question in geography lessons, there's some kids that always answer the Sahara Desert. Serious? It's not that funny.
Well, imitation is not just the sincerest form of flattery, but it's also the sincerest form of learning.
I would like to take you seriously, Charlie, but to do so would be an insult to your intelligence.
Excuse me, wait up.
Sorry about that. Would you like dessert?
Just 2 coffees, please, mate.
Just a standard filter coffee?
No, lattes, please. Oh, and can you make one of them skinny?
Sure, won't take me long.
I thought you were getting dessert.
I nearly did, but it's not fair. I'm sorry for getting like that. I support you, and if that means doing this diet, then so be it.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. It isn't easy, though, and it's very boring.
I can imagine.
Why is it that everything nice to eat is unhealthy?
Because it's nice to eat. How do you even deal with not eating bad food?
With great difficulty. Oh, and that mixed with the determination to eventually love my body.
You're perfect in my eyes.
Thank you. It's a shame I can't see it that way. Do you know, the problem is that there's too much pressure on us these days. How are we ever meant to achieve our goals when perfection is so far out of reach?
I know what you mean. Like, social media does make it so difficult for men and women to feel happy with how they look.
It's just hard to love yourself when all you see plastered online is this modern idea of perfection. No one seems to have a roll on their tummy, an ounce of cellulite on their backside, and they've got skin as smooth as babies' bottoms. How do they even do that?
Money. They have teams of people to make it look like they look good, and let's face it, how many people post an unfiltered version of themselves?
Yeah, I guess.
And not to mention all these social media influencers. They're literally paid to advertise products and have photographers constantly capturing their lives. How ludicrous is that?
It's utterly ridiculous. And how can normal women like me with full-time jobs be on that same level? It's impossible.
The world is impossible, Esme. Don't get yourself down about it.
Here's the skinny latte for you, madam, and the regular for you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Let me know if I can get you anything else.
I know we should move on from this demoralizing subject, but I do try and tell you to distance yourself from social media.
I know. It's not that easy when it's the only way you can connect with your friends and family, especially with my grandparents living in Paris. It makes me feel closer to them.
Yeah, I understand that. And I know it's old-fashioned, but can you just give them a call?
It's not just about talking to them though, is it? It's so that they can see what we're up to, I can see what they're up to.
Your grandparents don't do anything, Esme. They're retired and in their 80s.
I know. It's just a chance to see them smiling in a cafe, about to eat a croissant. It's enough for me.
And I get your point completely. Like, the internet is a blessing but a curse. However, you don't help yourself with the people you follow. You know, maybe just use it for your friends and family.
I guess. As sad as it sounds, looking at all those profiles, it's kind of part of my daily routine now.
You realise how ridiculous that sounds?
I know, I hate myself for it, but the bug's infectious.
Okay, weirdo. Maybe just reduce your stalking time then.
Yeah, okay. I think I can handle that.
I think you should just give her tablet, you know.
We've come this far, Alix. She'll win.
I've given up caring, let her win.
Oh, I can't believe we caved.
It's not our fault. She's programmed to need it.
Alix, she isn't a robot.
Well, in my eyes, she shouldn't even have one. I mean, look at her little face. She's fully aware that she's properly played you.
Oh, she's a cheeky little monkey.
She sure is. She reminds me of one of those babies from Shrek.
Oh, super chubby with a big meat head.
Well, I think she understood that.
Oh, I've been struggling to think of what to get her for her birthday.
Yeah, what do you even get for a nearly 1-year-old that has already got her own tablet?
Baby xylophone?
Yeah, but there's probably still an app for that.
Okay, what about a baby drum set?
You'll do anything to push music onto her, won't you? And she isn't even our child.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. A drum set is a great idea. You could write songs together when she's old enough. That'd be fun, wouldn't it, Millie?
Stop it. You know what I'm like. Music's important. It's been ripped out of enough schools, so I need to keep it in the family.
And that's your job, is it?
No. If you picked up the guitar I bought you once in a while, that'd help.
You're so much better than me. I like watching you play.
Yes, but we could play together.
You know, I've got no rhythm, and honestly, you're amazing. You're like Carol King, mellow as the month of May.
Oh, Alix, I can't stand it when you look at me like that.
Like what?
You know, there's the gleam in your eye, like you still love me as much as you did 10 years ago.
Who said I don't?
Well, no one said it. I just feel that way. Especially as I can't give us everything we want.
It's me. I do love you, if not more than I did then. I've had the privilege of being able to watch you grow into the woman that you are today. And you're always enough. And that's with or without a child.
Did you see Sarah got that new puppy?
Yeah, I saw a photo. Its head is huge.
It's one of those dogs that's kind of cute and ugly at the same time.
People often say that about pugs. The part of me feels sorry for them.
Why? The way it looks?
No, not at all. I just feel sorry for them often struggling to breathe.
Please don't start talking about work. This is date night.
You brought it up.
Okay. Carry on.
You know about their flat faces?
And that god-awful noise they make.
Well, they make the noise because there is excess tissue in their mouth.
Lovely.
And they struggle to breathe because they have narrowed nostril and an elongated soft palate, meaning there's not enough room for it all.
That explains things. Do you think Sarah will be aware of this?
I'm not sure.
They don't exactly come with a disclaimer. Maybe you should call her.
The disclaimer is written all over their face.
Okay, Nurse Shanto to the rescue. Call her later.
No one likes Nurse Yanto. They'd rather not know about these problems, which will eventually cost them their summer holiday.
Au revoir, España.
Straight from the tap. Enjoy.
We'll try.
Excuse me. Quick question. Do you have a pug?
No. Should I?
God, no. We're just talking about it and thought we'd bore you.
I like animals, though. I have 3 at home.
Oh, cool. What do you have?
I have 2 rescue kittens, that's our brother and sister, and a bearded dragon.
Oh, cute. Yento always wanted to get me a bearded dragon, but no thank you. Not for me. Give me cute and fluffy over scales. Oh.
Poor Kanye. You'll be very sad to hear you talk about him this way.
Sorry to move on from Mr. West, but you've just reminded me of something. A while back, I had a client with 2 kittens. He didn't think there was any risk of them mating as the brother and sister.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I know where this is going.
I then had to explain to her that kittens don't realize this and will mate with whoever.
And did they?
Well, let's just say she gave birth earlier this week to a litter of 3 kittens.
Oh no, inbred kittens, that's awful.
Yeah, it is. So make sure you get yours neutered before it's too late.
Jeez, Shinto. The guy was just trying to make some tips by having a little chat. He didn't sign up to a lecture on neutering kittens.
No, it's fine. It's a good job I have just gotten them done.
Well done. Brownie points for you.
Oh, that's my cue. Your food will be here shortly. Is there anything else I can get for you?
Can we have another bottle of that wine? It was really nice.
Of course. I'll be right back.
Thanks.
So, have you done any of these before?
I'd like to say yes, but this is actually my first one.
Oh, okay. It's mine too. I've been trying to gear myself up for it, but I find this whole internet dating thing quite difficult.
Oh my god, me too. Who knows if you're going to end up with some random psycho, right? And not to mention what to wear and where to meet, blah, blah, blah.
Tell me about it. I mean, looking at your profile picture, I thought I was punching above my weight and that you might be fake or sneeting me.
Sneeting? What's that? I've never heard of that before.
It's basically someone that uses you for a free meal out.
Oh, well, that's my plan ruined.
Oh.
They've got the right idea, though, haven't they? Love a free out.
Well, I'm glad you're paying then. You can answer that.
No, it's fine. It's probably just my mum wanting to check in. She knows I'm on a date and she doesn't quite approve of this online dating malarkey.
Oh, well, that's okay. You know, mothers can be mothers, will be mothers. I don't fully approve of online dating either. But how do you even meet people these days?
Exactly. And I can find love from the comfort of my own bedroom.
If only it was that easy. But then we'd have to gear up for the actual date. Not only that, but it's really hard to have conversations these days. Although it does amaze me what becomes of them. The way people structure their words often form the foundations of their lives.
I know. I always think the same. Isn't it crazy how relationships can be formed from just one word?
And to think that every relationship in this room started that way, from just having a conversation. Isn't it interesting to think that all the people in this room right now are just talking? Like, look over there. I bet they're having such a deep and meaningful conversation.
Halloumi, oh my.
Food looks pretty good, doesn't it?
You know, we should go to a concert soon. It's been so long.
Oh, good idea. We need to have some fun.
Oh my, that's sweet.
We're talking about something completely different, and somewhere in there will be something important and personal, because the words are their own.
So, are you enjoying your first experience of Moroccan food?
Yeah, I am. It's actually delicious.
And as Bernard Shaw would say,
there's no love sincerer than the love of food. Yeah.
Here we are. I'll take this one away for you.
Thanks.
No worries at all. Is everything okay with the food?
Yes. It's delicious. Thank you.
Great. Is there anything else I can get for you?
No, that's fine. Thanks.
Okay. Well, enjoy the rest of your meal and let me know if you need anything.
I have an idea. Let's ask each other 3 questions, one at a time. It can be absolutely anything.
Okay, I'm in.
But one rule: we have to be 100% honest with our answers.
Okay, deal.
Okay, I'll start. What is the weirdest message that someone has sent to you whilst online dating?
That's a good one. One guy sent me a message saying the human body has 206 bones. Want to give me another?
Oh my god. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. That is so weird.
That's what you get when you're a woman. You get all the creeps messaging you, and it's all about one thing.
Mm.
Right, my turn. Do you believe in reincarnation? And if so, what would you like to return as?
That's two questions.
No. The second is a sub question. Your turn to answer.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I do to some extent. I remember my past life. I was a pufferfish. I still have the anxiety, but I didn't manage to keep the ability to swim. Next time around, I'd like to be an eagle. Who hasn't wished they could fly? I mean, so yes. I guess I do believe in reincarnation. I believe I've lived quite a few lives. Yeah.
Wow, that's quite the answer. How do I like for that?
Well, I'm excited to see. Anyway, my turn. What was your dream job growing up?
Well, not teaching, that's for sure. This sounds so random. I wanted to have a pasta shop.
A pasta shop. Oh.
Basically, when I was younger, I would take a tub of my mum's dried pasta shells to my room. Along with that, I would take some little plastic cups and some of my mum's old receipts from her shopping trips. I would then create a shop where people would ask for however many cups of pasta they wanted.
Little Zara sounded so nerdy.
I know, right? Absolute dork.
But adorable.
Right, my turn. Have you ever been in love?
Yeah. But not for a while.
Oh, come on. Give me more than that. I told you all about my sad little pasta shop.
Okay. Okay, it ended a couple of years ago. I was with a girl called Sophie. It was serious. Like, so serious. We even had a dog. Things were going really well, and then one day I found out that she'd been seeing someone else for 6 months behind my back. I had no idea. I'm over it now. It's fine. But the worst thing is she took the dog. And that's one thing I'm not over. I miss my silly little Springer.
Oh, Carly, I'm so sorry. That's awful.
Don't worry, it's fine. Alcohol is the anesthesia of which we ensure the operation of life.
Wasn't Bernard Shaw such a wise old man?
He sure was. Here's to George.
To George.
Mr. Shaw.
They seem sweet. They remind me of us when we first met.
I think we're still like that now.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what world you're living in, Alix. And you know, I cherish this relationship, but so much has changed.
Okay, like what? Like, I mean, give me some examples.
Okay, fine. First of all, I don't think the fireworks are there like they used to be. And our chemistry is so different now.
I think that's because we're, comfortable and happy with the people that we become.
Yeah, but we've moved in some pretty opposite directions over the past couple of years. I don't know. I don't think I see you as clearly as I used to.
Well, I think that's because we've almost become the same person. And in some ways, I see that as a good thing. To know someone as well as I know you is exhilarating because there's no surprise.
Oh, but I miss the surprises. Where are the moments you'd spontaneously surprise me with gifts?
You're a grown woman, Esme. I've known you our whole adult lives, and there's nothing really more I could get you.
Okay, so I've become hard to buy for. But it's not just that. Also, it's the fact that you don't think about me as much as you used to. You're just always in your own little bubble.
I wish you could live in my head just even for one day, even for a minute. you'd see how much my brain is a constant whirlwind of thoughts and feelings about you.
Well, you seem stressed, anxious. I don't know, I think there's more on your mind. I just wish you'd talk to me.
Please don't start this again.
Start what?
Yeah, clawing into my head.
I'm not. But you never open up to me anymore, Alix.
But what's the point?
The point is, I'm your wife. We should always be open and honest with each other.
I mean, we have enough problems at the moment. You know, I've never been good at opening up to you, to anyone for that matter.
I know. But it's something you need to work on. You always let your emotions build up inside, then one day you just unleash them all. It's too much for me to cope with.
Until I met you, Esme, I never had anyone in my life that I could talk to. And you know that. My parents never listened or ever wanted to know how I was on the inside. They just rather not worry.
Yeah. But I want to listen. I want to know how you are on the inside. How are we meant to maintain a healthy relationship if you close yourself off from me all the time?
I try and open up to you. And I have many times, but it doesn't make it any easier. Men don't cry. At least that's what, we're told, and having that drilled into your head from the day you're old enough to understand it causes way more problems than you think.
Well, it'd be good for you to cry more. To properly open up, let your feelings out. Sometimes I wish you would cry just so I could hold you, listen to you, help you.
Fine. If you want me to open up, then here it goes. When I was about 7 or 8, I heard my mother and father downstairs screaming at each other, like screaming. I tried covering my ears with pillows to drown it out, but I could still hear it loud and clear.
Alix, I know I said I wanted you to open up more, but you don't have to do it here. We can just go home.
No. Doing it at home makes it real and too big of a deal. Just please let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
About an hour later, they quietened down. I could hear my mother through the walls quietly sobbing in her room next to mine. And I didn't think anything of it because we've all seen our mothers cry. Anyway, I never heard my father come upstairs. So about half an hour later, when I heard my mother get into bed, I quietly tiptoed down. I had to watch my feet between the shattered glass and smashed china plates, and I saw a small lamp beaming from the living room. I walked closer, still trying to hide myself from getting noticed. And as I walked up to the door frame, I saw my father with his head in his hands, crying, but like really, really crying.
Oh, Alix, why have you never told me this?
It's just to see your father cry that way. The man who told me that men shouldn't cry and to lock up my emotions when I struggled with bullies or difficult situations was sobbing in his own hands. That image has never left me. And he never knew that I saw him. But in a way, it made me want to hide even more because I realized how much he hid it from me.
Why are you only telling me this now, Alix? Stuff like this would help me understand your problem with opening up so much more. I don't know what else to say.
You don't have to say anything. It doesn't affect me like it used to, but it's at times like this when everything is just bottled up, that it does.
Well then, what else have you got hidden away in that brain of yours?
It's not the right time.
I don't think timing really matters anymore after what you just told me. Let's talk it out. Like neutral playing field. Neither of us can start cursing or throwing our weight around in here.
The truth is, I don't like Millie being here.
What do you mean? What has Millie got to do with this?
I don't I don't like her being here because it makes it so much harder for me.
Makes what so much harder?
Come on, Esme, you know what I mean? It's harder because she's not ours. There is a child sat at the table and she isn't ours.
I know that she isn't ours, but I'm trying.
Trying to do what?
Trying to get pregnant. Trying to be a good wife. Trying to give you everything you want.
Don't act like this is only for me. It's just as hard for you, if not harder, but one day we will get there. I know we will.
Yeah, I hope so.
No, we will. The only reason I brought it up is because it's so much harder to cope when we keep looking after Millie. Her face, her smile, her laugh, it's just too much.
Okay, I understand. I can't just say I'll stop babysitting. That would ruin the relationship I have with my sister. Do you not think this is hard for me too?
I'm not saying that at all. But you wanted me to open up, and this is how I feel. To be honest, I can't remember the last time we spoke about this.
I know. I guess we've both been keeping a little bit too much inside.
How's the coffee? Can I get you anything else?
Can you just give us 5 minutes? It's not a good time.
Sure. Sorry.
Thanks. He's only doing his job.
Well, obviously. It's just we finally found a moment to talk and then we were interrupted.
So let's talk. Now. He won't bother us again. I think you've scared him off.
Okay. Well, I'm sick of walking around in public, envying all these women who have a child or who have a bump. I'm just always looking at themselves, thinking to myself, why does she get to be a mum?
I'm sure that's normal, Esme.
No, even if it is normal, I don't like the feeling. Because then I have this guilt that I'm a really awful person for almost wishing I could be them to have their child.
But you shouldn't feel guilty. We're all told to believe that we should settle down, get married, have children. You know, it's expected. So it's tough when there's aspects of this that just can't happen.
I can't even watch TV these days or put on a film without fear of seeing a baby. It's like when we watched the remake of The Lion King. It was hard enough watching Simba, and I've seen the original 1,000,000 times.
And Simba is not actually a human baby.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. But it's the desperation to be a mother. I've got this longing. It makes everyday situations just blown out of proportion.
You know, I feel all of this too. I sometimes struggle when my mates are talking about their children, or, you know, when they can't come out for a drink after work, and then I'm just reminded that I do have that freedom to go out, and it kills me.
Well, maybe we should just enjoy it while it lasts. Isn't that right, Millie?
I guess in a way we should. I just need you to know that I do try to be strong for you, you know? So you don't have to see me struggle. It must be affecting you more.
I don't want you thinking that way. You're going through this too. You're also longing for a child that still isn't here. I just want us to support each other through this. Let us feel all the emotions that we need to feel without the guilt of the other person. I want to look after you just like you look after me.
And you do. I just worry that this journey has already taken its toll.
I sometimes feel the same. I don't even recognise my body anymore. This IVF treatment, it just always makes me feel bloated, and I've got bruises all over my belly. I look like Millie's painted all over me.
Well, I still think you look gorgeous.
Well, you would say that. I just don't know if I can take the constant disappointment, the heartbreak every time I miscarry or every time the embryo transfer fails. I'm really just starting to wonder if this will ever happen, if we should even keep trying.
If you do believe in something, then one day it will happen and it will come true. And besides, we've spent far too much money to give up now.
Oh, God, I hope that's true. It's so expensive now we've used up the NHS entitlement. Can we even afford to carry on?
We'll find a way. I work every day of the week if I have to.
You moan about 5 days, let alone 7. Oh, look at Millie. Her tablet's sending her to sleep.
That's because she's programmed to it. I told you.
Why do you have this weird obsession with her being a robot?
She's not a robot, she's a cyborg.
Don't tell my sister that. You know she's overprotective. She does not need your conspiracies.
I had this awful dream last night, Yenta.
Oh, really? What was it?
I was celebrating my 30th birthday again and again, and it would repeat through my mind as if to haunt me. And then I'd wake up to the fact that I'm still 23.
What's so bad about that?
For some reason, the thought of growing up terrified me. In the dream, I looked no different. I was celebrating in my parents' house. Nothing had changed. And the worst thing is that I was happy.
I don't think that being happy is a bad thing, Cal.
It's not at all, but how could things be the same as they are now at the pivotal age of 30?
It's a dream. On the other hand, I like getting older. Life feels more immediate. You can appreciate every day a little more.
I know. I guess in a way I like it too. Time gets faster and faster. Maybe it's because we're busier.
And why do you think that?
I don't know. It feels that way. I must have gotten the idea from somewhere. Probably a movie or something.
Well, like every great writer says, there's truth behind fiction.
Do I look any different from when we first met?
I've only known you for a year. How do you expect me to answer that?
Yeah, but you see me every day. There must be something different.
If you're so confident in the idea, then what's different about me?
Oh, I don't know. You dress better.
How did I dress before?
Not badly. But you have a better eye for fashion these days. Do you remember those awful yellow jeans you used to wear?
Please don't remind me.
You used to walk around like a children's cartoon character. The looks you used to get were astounding. But you never cared or even noticed. I guess that's part of the reason I fancy you. So many of us are obsessed with how we look, how we dress, and what we're getting up to in our lives, but how many of us just do things a certain way because we want to?
I think you're looking into it too deeply. We all try our best to do what makes us happy.
Yeah, but while doing that, we're trying to get someone else's approval. I mean, you do what makes you happy, but you still keep your life secret from your parents.
Please don't bring them into this, Cal.
I'm not yet. But do you know what I mean? To be honest, I'm the biggest hypocrite of them all. I do these things all the time, and it gets me down. Approval is such a burden.
Just be true to yourself. That is the reason I'm into you. And anyway, now you have managed to shame my past self. I've thought of something for you. The smile lines of your cheeks have deepened.
And that happened because you make me smile more than I ever have before.
Do you know what would make me happy?
I don't know.
Yes?
I don't know. Just tell me.
Winning the lottery.
I think that would make anyone happy. But you don't even buy a ticket.
Yeah, because I know I will never win.
Why are you talking about wanting to win the lottery? You've got to be in it to win it.
I guess.
So, what would you do if you won?
Bet on my life, our life,
It would be nice to get a place of our own, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and then I could just run away from my insecurities, my parents, and live freely in a mansion in a Cotswold.
You'd still be insecure, Yento. You'd just be insecure in a mansion.
Do you think it would change anything?
No, why would it? You're still the same person, regardless of your wealth.
So you think I'll just be a depressed closet gay man forever?
No, what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't really change anything. Nothing does. People don't change because of fame or fortune or even downright luck.
Maybe not. I think it's going to make some difference.
Some difference, sure. I can agree to disagree. But do you think you'd change if your parents accepted you for who you are? Of course you wouldn't. You might be happier, less insecure, but you'd still be the same Yanto I know and love. They'd just get to see you as well.
Well, I will finally be honest and open about everything and not having to hide. So yeah, this would change me. And in theory, it should help my confidence. Anyway, Cal, I thought I said that we didn't want to talk about my parents tonight. We're supposed to be having a nice time.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay. Right. Do you want to do your final question? Make it a good one.
Sure. Okay, what do you like, but are kind of embarrassed to admit?
A man who I've only just met.
Would you like to see the dessert menu?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thanks. Are you gonna have a dessert?
I'm not sure. I don't think I can manage a whole dessert myself.
That's fine. I mean, why don't we share one?
Aw, you sure?
Yeah, why not? I don't think I can manage a whole one either.
Okay, great. As you're the Moroccan food virgin, does anything tickle your fancy?
Not a virgin anymore. How about the crème au chocolat?
That sounds great. You can't go wrong with chocolate.
What dessert takes your fancy?
The crème au chocolat to share would be great. Thanks.
No worries. I will bring 2 spoons.
Thank you.
So now she speaks.
Sorry, I just loved your immaculate pronunciation of crème au chocolat.
57 years today. I can hardly believe it.
Do you think they're happy after all these years?
Who?
Old couples.
I don't know. Most look happy, don't they?
I guess. But can you actually imagine being with someone for all those years? Like basically your whole life and always feeling the same?
Well, I don't think they'd always feel the same. People change, naturally, and they grow together. It's a different generation to ours. We have so many other distractions. We have phones, social media, and all the rest of it to get in the way and cause problems. But they didn't have that. They just had one another. Pure, innocent love.
Do you think that a love like that can still be found and maintained?
I don't see why not. I mean, these people are proof that true love exists.
My grandparents were like that. Truly in love. They would always do everything together. There was never grandma without grandpa. This can be rare with arranged marriages. They sometimes have to learn to love each other. But my grandma and grandpa, they just did.
Are they still together now?
They would have been, but 2 years ago, my grandma died after having her second stroke. Then, 2 days later, my granddad died at home. I believe it was from a broken heart.
Well, that could be true. I remember reading a story a few years ago about the Jordan couple who were in their late 80s, maybe early 90s or something. He died, and then a week later she died too. Pretty heartbreaking, really. Apparently there is a science behind it all. It's called broken heart syndrome. It's an impermanent heart condition caused by stressful situations. Their love for each other isn't enough. It isn't just heartwarming, it's also science.
Wow, if that isn't enough to tug on the heartstrings, then I don't know what is.
Are we going to address the rhinoceros in the room?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. You still haven't told your parents about us.
I will. It's just hard.
I know. Just find some time to talk to them. Your parents still believe you got a girlfriend called Abby, and they have done for nearly a year now. They will find out sooner or later.
Yeah, but you don't get it. It's hard having parents that don't understand. I'm scared that they want to prove. I don't want them to ruin what we have.
Well, don't let them then. Be who you are and tell them that this isn't a choice and that we love each other.
It's not as easy as that. You had parents that never questioned it and basically already knew you were gay. That's like the dream outcome. It also doesn't help when they've grown to really like Abby.
She is pretty great. But she isn't actually your girlfriend.
I know. The thought of that terrifies me more than telling my parents the truth.
Then what are you afraid of?
Them not loving me anymore? Being disgusted with me? Not accepting me for who I am?
The world has changed, Gento.
For you, maybe, but not for everyone. I just want them to understand, and I want them to love you as much as I do, as much as they love Abby.
That's asking a lot, Gento. How can I compete with a gorgeous blonde woman?
Exactly. You can't. I just don't see it working out the way that we want it to.
We won't know until we try. Why don't we roleplay the situation? I'll be your mother.
So neat in my head.
Find a way to stomach it, as I'll have to be your father too. I am your father.
I choked. But there's no harm in practicing. Take it away, Darth Gail.
Okay, all parent jokes aside. Let's figure out how to tell your parents. Okay. You start. I mean, it's not as if they're coming out to you.
Mom? Dad? Can I talk about something, please?
Of course, my boy. What is it?
Well, you know Abby.
Oh, yes, our sweet little Abby. Will she be coming for dinner this evening?
The truth is, she isn't actually my girlfriend.
What do you mean? She has been your girlfriend for nearly a year now.
Well, not exactly. She's my best friend.
A best friend that's a girl? That is a girlfriend, Gento.
That's not true. I can have a best friend that is a girl in a non-sexual relationship, just like you and Chantel.
Yes, you're exactly right. Yes.
It wasn't all a lie. I have been in a relationship for nearly a year, just not with Abby.
Okay, who with then?
With someone called Gail.
Cal? That sounds like a boy's name. I think he means Khaleesi, off the telly box. Ah, very pretty young lady. Successful, it seems.
No, his name's Gail. I'm in a relationship with a man. And I really hope that you accept this, as I'm very happy. Do you have any questions?
Was everything okay with your meals?
Yes, look. Yes, lovely.
And yourself?
Yanto.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Holima's spot on.
Good. I'm glad to have pleased you both. Can I get you anything else?
No, I think we're all good. Thank you.
Not a problem. I'll pop her over in a moment with the bill.
I don't think I can do it.
Why not? That was great.
It was a mockery.
Oh, I was only having a laugh. It'll be fine.
I know you were, but it doesn't mean it'll play out like that in real life. My parents didn't even watch Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones is not what you should be taking from this. Your parents are nice people. They love you.
How would you know? You've never met them.
Because they made you. I've never met anyone as lovely as you are. Well, that and the fact that Abby said so and has put up with this for about a year now.
She's been a good friend.
She has. But are you actually going to talk to them?
Yes. You know I am.
Okay, but I've been hearing that for the past year. I can't live a lie anymore. And neither can you.
Neither can you? What does this have to do with you, Gail?
I didn't mean it that way. But you have to agree that not everyone would put up with this. To live a relationship in secret.
Okay. Well, you said you understood.
And I do, but I want to openly love you. I want to meet your family and for them to know me.
You think everything is so easy. You live in a family where this isn't deemed as different. You have a stepbrother who's gay, an uncle. You've grown up around this your whole life. I've never known anyone who understands me like you do.
I know.
I just wish you'd understand. I wish you could live in my shoes for a day and know what all of this feels like. I live in fear that they'll find out that Abby will just stop coming over. Then that's no way to live. I want them to know you. I want them to know me. The real me. I don't think I've had an honest talk with my parents in years.
Then go and talk to them. Just do it. If it all goes wrong, then you have me to fall back on, Yanto. You know that.
I know, and I love you for that. But I still want them to accept me for who I truly am. I don't want to lose my family.
And you won't. Even if they don't understand at first, you are their son. They won't disown you. They love you.
I guess. You really are the best. Right. I'm going to do it. Really going to do it. I'll tell them tonight.
Yes, that's my man.
I know that started a bit like an attack, but I'm sorry. But now I'm pumped. I could shout it aloud.
Shout what?
I'm gay!
I think someone's had a bit too much to drink.
Maybe not the best example, Barrowman.
Let's get a bill. You can come back with me.
Are you sure about that?
Never been more sure.
I love that you're finally so enthusiastic and you want me to be there, but I feel like it would be best for you to tell them and then I can meet them.
But what if it goes badly?
Then you know I'm here and I'll be waiting for you.
But you'll be all the way at your house.
How about I come and wait outside in the car? And then if you need me, I'll be there.
Sounds great. But what if it all goes well and I don't need you?
Then I guess I'll just drive home.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you for the support and always being there. I really do love you.
Okay, enough of the PDA. Here's the bill. Quite the announcement, by the way.
Thank you. I'm going to home to tell my parents that I am gay. Wish me luck.
Good luck. Those listening were lucky enough to hear your rehearsal. It'll be fine, don't worry. They might already know.
That would be great. It would be a lot easier for me that way.
You don't exactly hide the fact, do you, Yento?
Well, I have had a fake girlfriend for a year.
Well, good luck either way. I'll expect to see you back in here one day with a bigger grin across your face.
Service charge? No thank you.
Oh, leave it on. He's been good to us. We should have got his name.
It's Trent!
There we have it.
Let's play catch. I think I have enough, and then we can leave a tip just for him.
What's gotten into you?
I'm reborn. A new chapter.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for talking to me tonight, forcing me once again to have this conversation. Never before have your words been so important. Now it's time for me to have the same conversation with my parents.
That's okay. Come on, let's go.
Charlie,
Yes?
I still have one question left.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Go for it.
If I were to give you my number, would you call me?
Contact list. Contact list. Where is it?
Although, now I've said that, phone calls actually make me quite nervous. Hello?
Hi, it's Charlie.
Who?
Charlie. You know, the city's most successful playwright.
No, I still don't think I know who this is. I should probably hang up now.
No. Wait.
Yes?
We went on the most fantastic date a few nights ago, and I thought I'd call you.
Yes, Charlie, the Moroccan Virgin.
Yeah, that's me. How are you?
I'm good. And you?
Not bad at all. Thanks for asking. Anyway, I've been talking to our mate George.
Oh, George, how is he?
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, he was saying how everything happens to everybody sooner or later if there's enough time. But I don't think I should wait on time. There's nothing more unreliable.
Okay, your point is?
Well, my point is that I had a really lovely time with you, and in a generation obsessed with sex and drugs and mobile phones, that's hard to come by.
Yeah, I agree. I had a lovely time as well. Took you long enough to call, though.
Yeah. Well, I thought I wouldn't bother with the teacher on a school night. You know, she's too busy dabbing and becoming Snapchat famous.
It's true, very true. My stocks have risen. I'm becoming quite the star.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Anyway, look, if maybe you could spare another night away from your pasta shop, then I'd love to meet up with you again.
I don't have the staff, so I may have to close for an evening, but I'm sure I can fit you in somewhere.
Great. Great. I mean, how does next Friday sound?
That'll work. It'll save me drinking on a school night. Don't want a drunk teacher. That wouldn't be good for my career.
True, true. A marketing disaster for the company.
Precisely. Sorry. My mother is calling. I should probably take this time.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I've got to go.
Was it something I said or did our phone call freak you out?
No. The phone call was perfect. The night was perfect. It's nothing to do with you. I promise. I just need to go.
Don't be silly. I'll pay.
No way. Men always think they have to pay. This restaurant is expensive, Charlie. Okay. That should be enough. I'm so sorry. Bye.
Excuse me. Can I have the bill, please?
Of course.
Thank you.
Cash or card?
Cash, please.
Don't worry about the girl. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that has taken place.
I'm sure. How did you know? How did you know?
Don't be shocked. I'm not just a waiter. Nobody's defined by their occupation. And besides, it's respectfully quiet in here, sir. I couldn't help but overhear. It sounds like you had a good time.
We did.
We'll see her again.
Yeah.
The possibilities are numerous. Once we decide to act and not react. Give her time. Then give her a call.
Thanks. Yeah, I will. Keep your change. You deserve it. Have a good night, mate.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Have a good night, and thanks again for the generous tip. I am so sorry. I will clean it up right away. No glass hit you, did it?
No, it didn't. You just woke the baby. I'd rather the glass had hit me.
You're lucky she's cute. I bet she gets away with murder.
She does. I mean, she has her own tablet. She gets treated better than me.
It's clear to me that you both love your daughter.
Oh. No, she's not our daughter. She's my niece.
Oh, I am so sorry. Forgive me for jumping to conclusions. You make great parents.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah, thank you. We really appreciate it. Do you have any children?
Yes, I do. I have 2 boys. I don't get to see them that much, unfortunately.
Oh no, how come? Oh God, sorry. Forgive me. I shouldn't have asked. That was rude.
Not a problem. Let's just say it's complicated. It's nice in a job like this to see people like yourselves. It just goes to show that happy marriages can exist.
You said this was a happy marriage.
Oi!
Anyway, if you're all finished then, I'll bring the bill over for you. There's no rush. Just enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
We should probably get going soon and get Millie home.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Then Mummy can put you to bed.
Considering we have spoken tonight, I think you should maybe talk to your sister and tell her what you've told me.
Yeah, I know. I just don't know how to start the conversation. I don't want to stop babysitting altogether. Maybe just not as much.
You know you won't do that. You love seeing Millie.
More than anything.
All I'm saying is that she knows you're not okay. And I'm sure it would be helpful to open up to her. She wants this for you as much as we do.
The problem is, ever since she announced she was pregnant, I've always held this sense of bitterness and jealousy towards her.
I know, just maybe just don't mention that part.
Of course I won't. I just don't want everyone to pity me and walk on eggshells around me. I couldn't stand that. All I want is for people to understand how this feels. Then maybe I could feel less defined by my infertility.
Okay, well, why don't you talk to her when we drop Millie off then?
Yeah, maybe. I could speak to her and Mum together. I kind of feel like Mum needs to hear this as well.
Good luck with that. She isn't the best at listening to things when she doesn't want to hear.
Oh my God. And she always has been putting me on so much pressure. My mum has always wanted her 2 daughters to experience motherhood, to make her a grandma. Yet I'm the only one who can't fulfill it. I feel like a disappointment.
Wait a minute. You listen to me. You're not a disappointment, and you never will be. It's not your fault. You're trying so hard and putting your body through hell to try and give us a baby. I'm beyond proud of you and everything you've gone through.
Thank you. But you know what my mother is like, Alix. She's a nightmare. She'll do anything for you, but drag you into the fiery pits of Mordor for doing so.
That's why I love you. There's always time for a Lord of the Rings reference.
Well, that's because of you. I was never like this till you introduced me to those films.
Well, would you really want it any other way?
Of course not. I love you, Baggins.
I love you, Gamgee.
I'll talk to her later. I'll get it all done. I know you weren't sure about coming here tonight, but it's been really lovely.
It really has. And I guess the little cyborg being here wasn't so bad after all.
Oh, she's been as good as gold.
Esme, do you think I'll make a good father? What's one thing you think I'll be good at as a parent?
Of course you will. Oh, but one thing. It's pretty hard to choose. There's loads of things. But I think you'll be really great at playing.
Oh, for sure. I'll get out all of my old Doctor Who toys that I've been saving for.
Good idea. I was originally going to say DIY, but then I thought about all the botch jobs in our house. The thought of a child on something that you have built absolutely terrifies me.
Excuse me?
I'm only joking. What about me?
You'll be good at worrying. You won't be able to cope. You won't be able to go to the park without their 3 layers of bubble wrap.
Oh my gosh, you just said he.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
I didn't even realise. I can't believe we haven't probably spoken about genders before.
No, we have. It's just been so long since we've talked about actually having a child, not just struggling to conceive one.
I think I've always just imagined us with a boy. I see myself having many common interests as they grow up, and I see them running circles around you and, you know, getting into all sorts of trouble.
Running circles around me? You're the pushover.
Hey, that's not strictly true. I just meant with your overprotectiveness.
Is that a problem?
No. Of course it isn't. I don't think I'll worry enough. We'll be the perfect balanced team.
You really think so?
I know so, Esme. You'll be amazing.
Sorry to bother you again. Are you ready to pay now?
I thought there was no rush.
There isn't, but my boss is on my back.
It's fine. Don't worry. We need to get going anyway. It's getting late and we need to get the little one home.
Thank you for understanding. Would you like to pay with cash or card?
Card, please.
Will just be a second. This machine's a bit slow.
God, it's 2020 and still technology is struggling to keep up, isn't it?
It sure does, but the restaurant doesn't help. It's not meant to look vintage. It's just strong and old. It's not just the Wi-Fi that needs an upgrade.
Oh no, I like it. Place has got character. That's why we came in.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I like it too. It attracts nice people.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Take it as you wish. Here's your card and your receipt.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Get the little one home safely, and hopefully I'll see you again.
Thank you. And thanks for the great service.
My pleasure.
That's right, Millie. We're off home to Mama.
Did she just speak?
Oh, she did. Oh my God, don't tell my sister. She'll be devastated we heard her say it first.
We'll have to make sure that we don't miss any first when we have a baby.
We won't. We'll treasure every moment.
Hey, Penelope, it's been a busy evening. How are you getting on?
Yeah, fine. I'm done cleaning out the back, so I just need to do the floors. Are you looking up tonight?
Yeah, so as soon as you're done, you're free to go.
Thanks, Trent. There's still a lady sat at the window, by the way.
I know. I'll go and have a chat to her now. Hi, excuse me.
Yes, my dear.
Just to let you know, we have closed. You have about 15 minutes until we lock up.
Okay, no problem. This restaurant just brings back so many memories.
Oh, really? Would you care to tell me one?
I would, darling, but it would take longer than 15 minutes. You'd have to take a seat.
A quick one, then.
Why are you interested in an old bird's stories, anyway?
Because if you don't have time to stop and listen to other people, then why should people stop to listen to you?
Very true. You're a smart young man. What's your name?
Trent. And may I ask for yours?
Doris.
Doris. It is lovely to meet you.
Likewise. I haven't sat down with a man your age since I met my husband.
You ought to be careful letting you out alone. What brought you to Mazine's?
Me and my husband used to come here together. All the family celebrations, our anniversaries, all under this one roof. Would have been our 57th wedding anniversary today.
Oh, I'm sorry, Doris.
It's okay. He was very unwell. He lived a good life, and because of him, I have too.
Life can be a rotten old thing, but it's the journey that counts.
It sure is.
Anyway, I thought I was getting a story. Would you like to talk to me about your husband?
I'd be delighted. But where to start?
Why not start at the beginning?
Well, we met at a local dance hall. Oh, what was it called? Pronto's. It was in Kingston, where I lived.
What year was it?
October 1961. I remember it so well. I was going out with one of Ernie's friends at the time, and we went to Pronto's. I saw Ernie, and he was swigging out of a bottle. So I thought, uh-oh, he's an alcoholic. When I first spoke to him, I said, I remember the first time I saw you, you were swigging out of a bottle. Then Ernie replied, it was cough syrup. I had a cold.
That's brilliant. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Exactly. He was such a lovely man, but he could be very shy, not to me, but other people.
In what way?
Well, my father used to say, does that man have a tongue in his head? And when I replied, yes, he'd say, he doesn't use it, does he? I don't think he ever fully understood Ernie.
He sounds like a lovely character, and your storytelling is so captivating, Doris.
I'm glad I'm not boring you.
Not at all. Carry on.
Well, when we first got together, we used to hang out at the Wimpy underneath the dance hall. It was one of the first to be opened. It used to only cost 1 shilling and 3pence.
What's that in today's money?
Oh, I'm not so sure. I think it's about 6pence.
Brilliant. How times have changed.
They sure have. It was a different world. In those days, there wasn't much you could do. It was dancing, coffee, or the movies.
What was your first movie?
The Music Man.
Starring Robert Preston and Shirley Jones.
Yes, that's the one. I'm surprised you know of it.
It's a wonderful movie. It's not lost, just in the archives.
Maybe you're right.
And anyway, you mentioned that there wasn't much to do in those days, but I don't think there's much to do now.
There just seems to be more than we had. We would find ourselves doing the same old things. A few days after our first cinema trip, we went back, got in there, and guess what film was playing?
The Music Man?
Yes, but we still ended up staying and watching it all over again.
How old were you both when you met, if you don't mind me asking?
Ernie was 18 and I was 16, nearly 17.
And look at all these memories that you have that have stayed with you for all these years. You're very lucky.
I'm sure you have memories. They may not seem like anything now, but in your future they will. Is there a young woman in your life, Trent?
Not currently. I was with someone for a while. We even have 2 beautiful sons together, but sadly it didn't work out.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. What happened?
It's a long, complicated story, but to cut it short, we just weren't right for each other. We tried so hard for the sake of the boys, but it soon became apparent that it just wasn't right. We both deserve to feel the missing part of our puzzled hearts.
It shows true care for your children when you both find a way to prevent the situation from turning sour. There was obviously love deep down somewhere.
Oh, of course. We've always loved each other, but that's not always enough. I sometimes wish it would have worked out, as I'd love to have that happy family unit, but it just wasn't meant to be.
Well, that's okay. Not all relationships work out, and they're not all perfect. Mine and Ernie's definitely had some ups and downs.
You say that with a smile on your face, like you did something you shouldn't have.
You're very right.
Oh, Doris, what happened?
Well, it was New Year's Eve, and I'd been seeing Ernie for a couple of months. We spent the evening at Pronto's, but then I left with another man.
Doris, no! How could a sweet lady like you do that?
That's not even the worst part. Poor Ernie had missed the last bus, so he had to walk 10 miles to get home. It was 1 a.m, and the ground was covered in snow. He was fine, though. He had his fancy winkle picker shoes on.
Winkle picker shoes?
Difficult to say, isn't it? They're shoes that come to a really narrow point at the end, pointing upwards like the tip of a boat.
Oh, wow. I would have loved to see those.
Trust me, you wouldn't. They were horrendous. All the rage in the 60s, though.
I bet. So, what happened next?
It was New Year's Day. Ernie got the bus to mine and then walked through my parents' shop to the lounge at the back. I was sat smoking, and he came straight out with, "Do you want to see me or not?"
Wow, that's quite bold move for a shy man. He must have liked you. What did you say?
Oh, okay, if you want. Anyway, back to you. Were you married?
No, we never got to that.
Is there any reason?
It was just never the right time. And I think deep down, we always kind of knew that the relationship would never maintain. Not only that, we could just never afford it.
Well, at least you knew this before you went through with it. Marriage is a big commitment and promise, especially if it's one that you can't keep.
It's okay, though. The boys are happy with their mother, and that's all that matters.
Yes, but are you happy?
I'm getting there. I just wish that we lived closer.
Time pushes people apart as much as it brings them together. One thing I do know from my many years of life is that things do work out. Scars do heal. Just give it some time.
You're very wise, aren't you, Doris?
You don't stay fit and healthy this long by living with stupidity.
That's very true. Can I get you anything? Another tea?
Shouldn't you be going home?
I'm enjoying talking to you and hearing your wild stories. We can talk a bit longer if you like.
I'd like that a lot. Gets a bit lonely sometimes.
I'll get us a pot of tea.
Are you trying to pull, Trent?
What? She's on her own. Everyone needs a friend sometimes.
She's not a charity case. I'm nearly done and then I'm going home.
Okay, great. Here you go. I hope it's strong enough for you.
It looks just right.
So, Doris, when did you and Ernie get married?
It was December 1963, but we got engaged the year before.
Was his proposal romantic?
No, not at all. He wasn't the most romantic. Well, he was, but not over materialistic things. It was the everyday moments with my Ernie.
I don't think that's a bad way to be, though. How did he propose?
Well, we were walking around Hounslow shopping, and then we both decided to get engaged.
You decided together?
Yes, and as soon as we said it, we went and got a ring. We stood underneath a lamppost and Ernie put the ring on my finger.
That sounds pretty romantic to me. How old were you at this point?
I was just about to turn 18.
What did your parents think of it?
Well, everyone said we were too young, but look how we proved them wrong.
Exactly. True love. What was the wedding like?
It was a quiet church wedding, but wonderful nonetheless. We got married at 4 in the afternoon. When we came out of the church, it was pitch black and snow was falling all around us. It was magical.
How beautiful. A white wedding.
It was. Ever since that day, I've always thought of snow more deeply. It was not only our wedding day, but our engagement was gifted with snow. There's so many memories, so many times when I think of our life together and the snow that came with it. Our first car never did well in the snow. We used to have to stop every mile and put a cloth against the exhaust manifold and then hold it against the windscreen to melt the ice.
What a nightmare. Did the car not have a heater?
A heater? Cars didn't even have seat belts. It was a great car, though. It got us through the toughest winter. I know it doesn't snow as often these days, but when I do see it, it brings back all those happy memories and reminds me of my Ernie.
The way you see beauty in the smallest of things is inspiring, Doris. We should all learn to appreciate life as clearly as you.
Hello, sorry to interrupt. Trent, I've just finished cleaning, so I'll be off now. I'll see you in a couple of days.
Thanks, Penelope. Great word tonight, as always.
Thanks, T. Speak soon.
I know what that was.
What do you mean?
Oh, it's quite obvious. You young people never know how to hide it. It's like you're parading around in your underwear.
This I'm not getting into. Penny is cute, but we work together. I don't see it that way.
Nonsense. If love blossoms, embrace it.
It's not love, it's just a good friendship.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But I saw a glint in her eye. It was the way Ernie used to look at me.
Well, if I'm going to listen to anyone, it would be you. We'll see. Ernie sounded like a very loyal man. Maybe I could learn from him. How about some more of your stories?
Why not? I could talk about him all day. And you're right, he was a loyal man. One time I was working in a hairdresser's. Suddenly I couldn't walk. I had excruciating pain at the bottom of my back.
Oh, was it lumbago? A member of staff had that once.
As a matter of fact, it was. My brother Jimmy came to the rescue and his wife called the doctor. Ernie even borrowed someone's motorbike to get to me.
See, he was romantic. Was he into motorbikes?
Yes, he loved his bikes, cars and trains. When he finally arrived, he took off his goggles and his face was completely black with just his white eyes left. Even though I was in so much pain, it still managed to make me chuckle.
Why was his face covered black?
It was from the smog. In those days, all of the smog from the power stations and coal fires would be in the air, and it would stick to your face and turn your eyebrows black.
Oh, blimey, that doesn't sound good for people's health. It's a good job they sorted the issue. Did you get better quickly?
No, I was off work all week with it. So Ernie would cycle back and forth to me every day, and we were 9 miles apart.
He clearly cared for you, Doris, unconditionally.
He did. He was such a gentle and kind man, just like his father. He was lucky to have parents that he could look up to.
Not all of us can be that lucky.
Agreed. I've lived my whole life never knowing who my real dad is.
But you mentioned your father earlier on.
Yes, well, he wasn't my real father.
I believe the people who bring you up should be considered your parents, regardless of blood. Do you not agree?
I do, but my father was never really bothered about me or my brother Kevin, as we weren't his biological children. And the one son that was his, my brother Jimmy, he treated terribly.
In what way?
Well, if he was ever naughty, he'd take his belt off to him, hit him. It was horrible to my mother too.
I am so sorry to hear that, Doris. The harsh reality is that so many families go through this. So many people still think it's acceptable to hit their children. What kind of mentality is that?
Makes me sick to the stomach.
They just don't consider the effect that it has on us as we grow up, especially trying to form our adult lives.
You said us.
It creates so many problems, lack of trust, relationship difficulties, a constant feeling in your gut that you're worthless.
Trent, darling.
I'm sorry. It's just such a raw subject and it fills me with rage and fear whenever I hear of someone else who struggled with abuse. I'm not afraid to talk about this, and that's the biggest problem. So many people are.
I think you've turned into a wonderful man, and I've only known you for a short amount of time.
Thank you, Doris. And I like to think the same, but deep down I know I'm still searching for love and approval. That's what infuriates me the most.
Just be proud of yourself. You have 2 wonderful boys, you work in a lovely restaurant, and you had the kindness to sit down and talk to me.
But do you ever feel that when you're trying to be a better person, you're doing it for the wrong reasons?
It may seem that way now, but one day it will pass. Have you ever thought about seeking closure?
A part of me wants to, so I can be free of this burden, but the other part of me can't bear the thought of it. I just wish it didn't have such a hold over my life.
That is something that may never change, but continue to make a positive impact on your boys and people like me. That will help.
I do. I try. They are my everything, but I still seem to let them down.
You're not letting them down. These days, so many people are separated or divorced. Children understand better than they used to.
But they don't. My kids often ask why they can't be with us both, or why they have to have 2 birthdays or Christmases. It doesn't seem fair.
I know, but once they're older, they'll look back on these moments and remember how much fun they had from having multiple celebrations.
I just want the best for my boys. Better than I had, anyway.
In my opinion, they've got the best. I mean, their father breaking down to an old lady in a restaurant. Your true colours have shown, Trent.
Let's just not tell them that part. We don't want the egos getting too big. Do you have any children, Doris? I mean, we've talked about everything from snow to motorbikes, dancing and the Music Man. But you haven't mentioned that.
Oh, I'm getting there. I've lived a long life, and you wanted me to start at the beginning.
That's very true.
And in answer to your question, I have 2 children, Elizabeth and George.
One of each. That's nice. Are you a
We
close
can,
family?
we can be. We definitely try to be.
What's stopping you?
Oh, I don't know. It can be difficult finding balance once you're all adults.
I guess. But is that not part of being a parent?
Of course it is, and I try my best, but they both have their own lives, and I'm still living in one from the past.
Are you finding it difficult to move forward?
Terribly. I'm struggling to see a future without him.
But I'm sure it helps having your children and family around.
Yes, but they are so busy, and he's been gone for some time now. They've got so many distractions from the sadness.
Life is simple, Doris. Once you strip back the layers, you're just left with this void. A void that constantly needs to be filled. And then when you don't have someone there distracting you, life seems impossible.
Life is impossible without my Ernie, and I live with that feeling every day.
There's many reasons to look forward, Doris. This is your second chapter. I don't think Ernie would like you holding yourself back from the world.
He wouldn't at all. He'd want me to make the most of my life and be happy. He'd be so disappointed knowing that I just moped around and wasted what little life I have left.
But just imagine, Doris. Imagine going all the way back to New Year's Day, 1962. Think about how your life would have been different if Ernie didn't come back to you that morning.
I can't imagine it. Every version, every moment of my past has his face mixed into it. Even my memories before him, he is somehow there.
I know what you mean. When I was with Clara, I found her embedded in my previous memories, and I almost forgot what life was like before her. Even now, when I come home, I almost imagine the day as if we were still together, and how much nicer it would have been.
It sounds like there's still something there, Trent.
There always will be. She's a memory that will never fade.
Well, for a young man, you really seem to have it all figured out.
Far from it. But I try my best to at least find clarity in my clouded life. It always helps to talk, though, doesn't it?
It does, but people never seem to talk anymore.
In day-to-day life, they don't. But working here, I see so many wonderful people talking, making conversation. This evening alone, I observed a couple on the first date, a man announced sexuality, and a middle-of-the-road marriage finding new ground.
I doubt all of them are wonderful, are they?
Oh, God, no, they're not. But human beings are incredible when they want to be. I mean, look at what we can do when we put our minds to it, and what has already been achieved throughout years of history.
Agreed. I mean, the world would be dark without Edison.
And words would be boring without Shakespeare.
They sure would. If people spread kindness and act with their heart, then the world would be an even nicer place. Life is beautiful, and we should cherish it.
I think most of us do. I should try to. What I love about this job is seeing people together, with no distractions, fully present in the moment, like it should be.
If people practice this more often, then maybe this would prevent problems from happening or relationships from breaking down. Sometimes all you need to do is just talk.
Doris, you're a genius.
Me? What did I do?
All along, there's been this emptiness in my void. All I need to do is to go to Clara and talk. I need to tell her how I feel, how I want to make it work and be a family again. I love her, and not a day goes by where I don't wish things were different, and I was still with her. Sometimes, all you need to do is just talk to someone and hear it from them, to give you the push you need to do what's right. Thank you, Doris.
You're welcome, Trent. I'm glad I could help. I may be old, but there's still some sense in this brain of mine.
Come on, I'll walk you home.
You don't have to do that.
No, I want to. It's a small gesture to walk you home, not a burden.
Thank you.
Don't worry up there, Ernie. I'll get her home safely.
You would have gotten along with him so well, Trent. I can just see it.
Why do you think that?
You both have a kind heart, and that's all you can ask for in a person.
Well, there we go. Thank you so much for joining us for the first ever read-through of the play script. I just want to point out that we had no practice prior to this performance, and the cast together made it successfully from beginning to end. So please give them another round of applause from your homes.
Also, please don't forget to make a donation to the Theatres Trust. This is such a difficult time for the arts industry. You'll find the link is in the show notes, as well as more details on the cast and crew.
But for now, stay safe and thanks for watching.